I'm Elide Casati. I'm an Italian teacher of Italian language and history. Good morning.
Today we're going to speak about teaching, and I have 4 questions for you. The first question is, how did you become a teacher? Have things changed so far in your country?
Yes. When I became a teacher, I had to attend a short course for 4 months, and at the end of this course, I had to take an exam. When I passed this exam, I obtained the qualification as a teacher of Italian language, Italian literature and history. Then I was introduced in a list, and when in public school there was a vacancy, I was hired in a public school. Now, younger teacher have to attend a longer course. At the end of the course, they have to pass an exam, and it's okay. But then they have a further exam to be hired in public school. It's more difficult today. Yes.
Okay, my second question is, what's the impact of new technology on modern education?
Yes. In my opinion, it is very important, because the students can have a way of learning more personal. They have a personal opinion about a lot of topics, because they haven't an only book for studying, and they can use internet for searching some information, for comparing different sources about a lot of topics and so on.
And 3, what is being done for students with special needs?
In Italy, yes. In Italy, there's some laws about this problem, and students have to have a medical certification. Disabled students have an special teacher added to the other teacher of the class, and the students with this learning disorder have a special program with special objectives, with special contents and so on.
And the last question, what would you like to change in education? I know that we have some strange ideas about that. What is mention at least one?
Yes. I would like the abolition of Marx during the year. Yes. I would like to prepare and to make only tests for testing, preparation, for testing learning, knowledge, but without Marx.
And Marx just at the end of the year?
Yes.
With the special exams?
Yes.
Okay, that's all. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hello everybody, my name is Paola Capriata, and I've been an English teacher for many years, and I was asked my colleague and dear friends to sit for an interview about something that is important.
Listen, how did you become a teacher?
I became a teacher after getting a degree at university, and I studied foreign languages. But actually, the language I graduated in was German, but the university I went to had the same curriculum both for the first and the second language that we were studying. And then after graduating, I immediately started teaching because I became a substitute teacher, and I was a substitute teacher for a long time. Then the Ministry of Education published a sort of exam which is called abilitazione to make you a teacher, and so I took some classes and then I sat for the exam, and I got a qualification to become not more a substitute teacher but permanent teacher at the school.
Okay, now things have changed. Can you explain how?
Yes, they've changed, and I know that because one of my former students has just become a teacher, and she had to go through a very, very long process. Nowadays, it's no longer possible to become a teacher just after getting a university degree. First, you have to get a degree, and then you have to attend special after graduation classes that may be 1 or 2 years long. And after that, you take an exam, and after that, if there are places available, positions available open at school, you can ask the school to let you in. Even though it's also possible then you have to take another exam to become a permanent teacher. So this takes years and years.
It's longer.
Yes.
Listen, what's the impact on new technology on modern education?
Well, technology is very important in everyday life, in everything we do. And above all, it has a huge impact on modern education. Just thinking of what the students have, they have computers, iPad that they use every day to study, to carry out researches, to make projects with their classmates, but also for teachers. This has been a great help so far because you can use technology in class to make your lessons more interesting. And for example, in a course we have here, which is called International Relationship, we do not even have a book. We just go online and I surf the net and look up information that may be useful related to very up-to-date topic and current issues. And so what we do is very, very modern, also thanks to technology.
And what would you like to change in education?
This is a big question. I'd like to change probably the way in which the students' curriculum is organized so far, because we are happy to be here in this school, and we can also do things which are very modern and are not so linked to a specific curriculum. But if I think of other subjects, for example, history, geography, and so on, I'm aware of the great difference that there's between my teaching methods, for English, and the teaching methods that are usually applied by teachers of other subjects, which are a little bit more traditional. I would like all the teachers to be really modern and become definitely much more appealing to students if they try to change the way in which they teach. And last but not least, I would like to change the final exam that students take when they finish secondary school in Italy.
And as for the students with special needs, what is being done nowadays for them?
Oh, there are so many things that are being done. First of all, they have a special syllabus, and there are special teaching programs with very different names that refers to students with difficulties in learning, or maybe like dyslexia, or maybe students that they have an attention deficit disorder, and so they have to be treated in a way that makes them more comfortable at school, taking the most from what they do in class with the teacher. And then for also foreign students, there are special classes that let them learn Italian as well as every other subject they do. So they take extra classes to be able to speak the language better, because knowing the language is basic for everything. If you read and you don't understand, or if you have to write, you must learn Italian first.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
For cooperating with us for our project.
Eyes in the sky, gazing far into the night. I raise my hand to the fire, but it's no use, 'cause you can't stop it from shining through. It's true, baby, let the light shine through. If you believe it's true, baby, won't you let the light shine through for you, 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 won't you let the light shine through?
So when I was studying, I did a master thesis on teaching communication. So that was very intriguing subject, and I always had dreamt about employing communication into my teaching. So when I came to school, I started doing it. It was quite a new thing in school systems and teaching methods. So it was very intriguing. So my students were really very eager to learn with these methods, and they were really creative, very active. So I think that was a great experience, and I was really happy to become a teacher. Today we use a lot of devices like multimedia projectors, laptop computers and things like that, which I think are very useful, but I personally believe with a lot of studying, in hard work, and memorizing things with the help of those devices. So it's good to use them, but not too much. This is a very serious and difficult problem in Polish schools. I think students with disabilities have some assistance with individual tutoring. So I mean, teachers go to their homes and teach them individually. But I think this is not a good solution. I think they should be more able to socialize, to be among other students. And we have several problems with that. We don't have assistants who can learn with children, stay in class all the time. And this would be a great help for us teachers who have to deal with the whole classroom and students with disabilities. So I think this problem has not been solved yet completely in Poland. First of all, I would like to get rid of homeworks, which would be very appreciated by all the students. I think more things should be done at school. I think that we miss after-class activities in which students could become more creative, could do their projects, could train their favorite sport. So this would be good if students could stay much longer in school and do a lot of work here in the school premises than going home and then learning individually, which is really boring for them and they do not want to do it.
Well, when I wanted to become a teacher, the teachers who wanted to teach a foreign language had an opportunity to study at a 3-year college for teachers. So this is what I did. And then I went on to study at University of Toronto. I got my BM there. And then I studied for 3 more years in Krakow to get my MA. Most teachers in Poland have to have a degree. They usually have their MAs or PhDs. Well, it has changed a lot because in the past, some teachers, especially the primary school ones, didn't have to have their MAs. I think it was enough to study for 2 years and they were allowed to teach in primary school. So it has changed a lot. Well, as you can see, without modern technology, we wouldn't be doing here what we are doing. There is a saying that one picture is worth 1,000 words. So I think modern technology brings the whole world inside the classroom. Without it, we wouldn't be able to do a lot of research, and without it, the students wouldn't be able to use a lot of resources. So I think it's a great opportunity for them to broaden their knowledge and do a lot of research on their own. In Poland, there are several options. One of those are special schools for children who have serious problems, either psychological or mental. And those schools are separate schools, especially for those children. Other than that, we try to include those students in the classroom. For example, people who have problems with autism. Dyslexic students usually get special chances to have more time while they're writing tests, and we try to cater for their needs in the regular classroom. It does have a big impact on the way they learn and get their knowledge. However, I believe that more attention should be paid to those students. Well, it has changed a lot because in the past, a lot of those students were seen as less able, so they wouldn't have a chance to study the way they do now. The thing is, nowadays, our education is a state of permanent revolution. So, to tell you the truth, I would like to see a period of time where we have no changes in education in Poland, as far as law goes and as far as restrictions or government regulations go. Other than that, I think we should have more time to spend with the students instead of doing their work. That would be my dream.
How did you become a teacher and have things changed so far in your country?
In my country? How did I become a teacher? I don't know exactly. It happened. I was a researcher. I studied biology, and all of a sudden I had some students at the laboratory. I have to watch over them. I had some students in the laboratory, and I figured out that teaching was much more interesting than doing research. And after some other experiences, I ended up here in Haaksbergen.
Okay.
And how did it change over time, you said?
Yeah.
I think I work here since 10 years or so, and in the beginning it was more like do your class, do your lesson, and that's it. And at the moment we try to offer all kinds of things like the Europe projects, like university challenges and other things outside the school building. So I think that has changed over time. And of course the students have become much more lazy than 10 years ago.
And
But you should skip that.
and what's the impact of new technology on modern education?
When you can look behind you, there is a big screen, touch screen. We have all kinds of demo material, films of movies, animations, the iPad. You can look at Google and try to find information yourself. I think that is a very big improvement as compared to just the blackboard and just writing down what's. Especially with the subject as biology, you can show much more.
And what is being done for students with special needs, and how did this change over time?
We hope we can differentiate much more. So when we say in class, please look at this paragraph or these exercises, that we can say, okay, maybe you should make this, maybe you should do that, or maybe you should try to figure out by using the internet how, for instance, a disease works or what is happening with medicine or something like that. So you can make a distinction between what you offer to the students. I think that's also what changed over the time, because 10 years ago it was, okay, do this is the best for you, and now we try to customize it a little bit.
Okay, and what would you like to change in education?
Okay, let's keep it. My most frustrating thing is that I would like to have the students in the lead, except teachers that are in the lead. Please let us know what we have to do for you, and do not watch at us like we are aliens. Like, what do we have to do, mister? Or just do whatever we say, but criticize the teachers, criticize the lessons. It's your career, it's your future, it's your study, it's your school. That's the thing I would like to have changed most, especially in this specific region of the Netherlands where everybody is really nice, but also very modest. So that's the thing maybe that I would like to change most, but that's not up to me, I'm afraid.
That's it. Yeah. How did you become a teacher?
I liked English and I loved reading, so the choice to start on a study of English language and literature seemed only logical.
What's the impact of new technology on modern education?
Well, the internet provides a source of information, a rich source of information to be used in the classroom, and I think devices enable me and other teachers to bring that information to students. So I think it has enriched teaching, it has made it more lively.
What's being done for students with special needs, and how has this changed over time?
I think there is more attention for students with special needs than I think 10, 15 years ago. I'm not quite sure whether we pay a lot of attention to students with special needs in the classroom. We talk about them, but we mainly talk about them outside the classroom, and I think they're being helped also mainly outside the classroom.
What would you like to change in education?
I'd love to have more time to prepare my lessons together with colleagues. I feel that we spend much time on talking, on meetings, and I'd love to spend more time on teaching, and I'd love to spend more time on helping students individually. I feel I have little time for that too.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.